Aquaba, welcome to Tikyiile Talks. This is a platform where I, Tikyiile, have conversations with people from different walks of life who share their thoughts and pass their story thus far. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to episode 6 of Tikyiile Talks. Today's guests are Joe and Matt from 22.5 The Creators. Boys, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
How you doing, pal? Long time.
Good to have you. Yeah, good to have you.
Good to be here.
So we'll get straight into it. How was school growing up?
This one, hard, mate.
Well, we went to separate primaries. We met in lower high school, didn't we?
Yeah.
In the same form. And it was just...
I always remember from that day on.
So how's your relationship at the start then?
No, we pretty much clicked straight away, I think.
We did. We had like separate friendship groups, didn't we, to start off? I think that's just when you go from primary school into secondary school.
Yeah, always.
You always have different friendship groups, don't you? But we kind of did merge. We had a little dry spot
right in the middle.
In the middle.
What happened?
Well, I think we just...
It was a drama lesson, wasn't it? Something like that.
I don't know if there was any like one particular point. I think we just
had the differences.
We started like going with different people, but we found our way back.
Went to counselling.
Wow. How long was that then? How long was the little break?
Only like a year, wasn't it really?
Yeah.
But we were still mates.
Yeah, we were still mates, and then it's just I don't really know what Alton Towers. We used to go to Alton Towers every year.
A yearly thing. Alton Towers.
We go to Alton Towers. We've been with so many different people. It's always me and Joe.
The one constant. Yeah.
So you guys are basically best friends now, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We are.
Yeah, no, and then I don't know. When we went to uni, we obviously didn't see each other as much.
You both went to separate unis as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you had a year out straight after, didn't you?
Yeah, so I had a year out with two of our other friends. And
I went straight into it. So.
Yeah, so I've only just finished.
Okay.
So that was a bit weird. It was a bit weird because obviously I was at uni like doing my, and then Joe was doing it, but we still saw each other quite a bit.
Yeah. And we were speaking all the time and that.
Wow. So when did the idea first come up for 22.5?
It was me that started.
It was your first year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
your
so
first year, my second year.
So I'd started uni, and in first year I wasn't not enjoying it, but it was just a bit like.
So what did you study for those who don't know?
So I do marketing.
Okay.
I wasn't not enjoying it. I felt like I wanted to do something else while I was there, so I started drawing. Like I'm into like art and stuff. Yeah, so I'm always sketching stuff. And I had an idea for a brand, and because my lucky number's 5, so this is so bad when we look back at it now.
Yeah.
The idea for the brand, it was just going to be called Roman numeral 5.
Okay.
And I made loads of designs for it, and like I was showing Matt, and I think I did a pair of
Air Force.
Air Force, yeah. Like I sketched out an Air Force, and then
pretty
did
big
my
start
own.
for the starting up brand collaboration. With Nike,
Straight off Nike collab.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it, mate. Shoot for the stars, man.
So I did that, and then we were just talking about it, and then we ended up doing it together. And I remember I was at a train station on my way back to university on bonfire night.
I remember the day.
Yeah, and we were talking about it, and we were like, what would we call it? So it was like spitballing ideas, but
came pretty quickly. Came really quickly.
Yeah, because the thing, like, we're best mates, and our birthdays are back to back.
Yes.
Okay.
So his 22nd
this month, 22nd
of the
23rd.
night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday in advance then.
Yeah, cheers, bro. So we just like, let's split it down the middle, 22.5.
That's what we did.
Okay, so you're 22, you're 23.
Yeah, 23. So.
But then we stuck with the original, like your original numeral idea.
Yeah, because we liked what we could do, because 22.5, the number is cool and we can do stuff with it. Right. But we just felt like the letters we could do.
Play about it a bit more.
Yeah.
So what happened in terms of getting Matt involved, because it was your solo idea? When did he come in?
Well, so Joe's told you his story.
Right.
No, I remember it's very. That is what you weren't. I wouldn't say you were wanting to drop out of uni, but you weren't. I always remember he was having a bit of girl problems.
Oh.
He felt a bit down.
That's absolutely not true.
Speculations, yeah.
Sure. But I always remember you weren't wanting to drop out, but you just weren't really fully enjoying it, were you?
No, I wouldn't even say that, because it was towards the start of first year.
Yeah, it
So-
was first,
so
it was
this-
first
yeah,
semester, and I just remember you coming up with this idea, and I could tell you just really, really passionate to do something.
Yeah, I did want to, because I've always wanted to be,
Creative, sort of,
Yeah,
in sort
like-
of some form of
yeah,
way.
and I don't
So then
think.
why did you go into marketing? Into something more creative?
Well, I think there's aspects of marketing that you can be creative with.
Could
And that-
have gone to Leeds University, by the way, at the same time as me, to do fashion marketing, and he went, "I'm absolutely not doing that."
Yeah, it's fashion
Why?
advertising. At the time, that's not something that I was like interested in, and my mind was set on.
Mate, I remember going to results day at St Mary's I think he had 3/4 on, shorts. He had an Arsenal t-shirt on. And he went, I'm
Just
not,
for the
he
record,
went, I'm
also,
not
that
doing
is
fashion.
absolutely not
I'm
true.
not doing fashion advertisement. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. And looking back now, that would have been absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
for
it
us,
would. But everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens to
I had no
yeah.
regrets.
But I just remember being very passionate about it. And I was like, if you're gonna do it, I want to be doing it with you. I think
Yeah.
it's just a friendship sort of thing. Like
Right.
if you're gonna do it, I want to help out in any way I can.
And
I've-
I think it's in a way easier.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's what we thought at the start. It'd be easier
Working
to
together.
do it together, yeah. And then so we've got like ideas to bounce off each
I
other.
think we do.
and
I
then-
think that's the main thing. We do bounce off each other.
Yeah,
We are very, very similar. Like we have wavelengths all the time when we have the same ideas.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
we spread off, and I think it's good that because I was never ever creative. I'm never ever I struggle to draw a stick man in art. You know,
Right,
like
okay.
Mr. Lely hated me, but I think to have Joe's creative side and my side, we can sort of bounce off each other very well. So I think
what did you do as well in uni? Was it similar?
business.
Business, okay. So
yeah.
you're both business people.
Yeah.
Sort of. I think that's why we thought we've got like sort of businesses background. We can sort of
Yeah, I think
jump
we
into
always as well. I think we always thought of
starting a business. I think
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't clothing, it would have been some like me and Joe would have always done something together.
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah, because I think just the way we are and the people we are, I think we would always have done something. So
you as well. You were saying like you're not as creative, but you have been surprisingly creative.
I don't know
think.
where I pulled that one out. Of,
Like a lot of the
Coming from you, I'm guessing if you've been inspiring. them,
yeah,
definitely-
but I feel like a lot of the ideas that we have do come from you.
and then you can finesse them.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Yeah.
The story of the logos.
Oh
a
yeah.
perfect
Yeah, so tell
example
us
of
about
that. So it's 22.5
So I'm guessing that's
is
the logo in your.
yeah
your
this
okay.
the little tongue thing. It's 22.5 and in Roman numerals 22 is XXII and 5 is V. They
So-
don't do decimals in Roman numerals,
Right.
and we know that.
Thought it'd be
People like to
edgy.
tell us.
Thought it'd be edgy.
So that's where it comes from, and we weaved. It was his idea originally, and have you got a photo of it?
I want to show you the OG.
It's horrendous.
Heads up, heads up.
So
It is atrocious.
his initial idea. It came from putting the XX on the eyes on a dollar bill. Was it
Benjamin's, yeah.
on a $100 bill, and then the V is like the mouth, and then like the dot and the eyes. And that's where the original idea for that came from.
And how did that look?
Wait.
To be fair, it didn't look too bad on the money, and then he made like a separate like logo for
Okay.
that, and
In
made
my
it
head
into,
at
like,
the
a
time,
face.
I thought this is it.
This is it. That's the one.
next Triferg, mate. I was like, this is it. This is absolutely it.
And it was
It was
it's bad.
It's
I'm
cack.
not gonna lie, but
It's cack.
I like the idea, and I can see it. That was the original. That was the original.
You want to edit that in? Get that on?
Yeah,
Try
nobody's
for it.
ever seen that. So
Yeah, that's it.
a little. Yeah, so because he
That,
came
yeah.
to my house. This was so we'd been at uni, so it was like in between the breaks and stuff, and like summer.
Yeah.
So we'd always come to my house and go in the kitchen on the table, and we'd be like
Got plenty of
drawing
time
stuff,
left
and
as well.
yeah. And basically, I redrew the thing by hand, but obviously we needed it computerized, so
Yeah.
we put the piece of paper in front of the
The screen.
computer. And like traced it,
Boss,
but like the other way
oi.
around.
We were limited in what we knew.
Yeah,
Brilliant. I used to do that when I was younger as well.
when yeah.
Actually,
And
I was
that's how-
5.
And then we just like sort of worked it from there.
Yeah,
and
from
but
then
that's where it came from, and we've only altered it once.
Once,
and that was
recently, yeah.
just before we designed these drops.
But
I redid the tongue.
But I think that sums it up.
Slightly.
Like I had an idea, and then you've like finessed it and
it,
got it together. But that's the thing, like Adobe, like we obviously all Photoshop and illustrating. Like when you first go on it, it's completely foreign. Like you have no idea.
Yeah.
And like that's what I'm saying. Like I had no, I was not creative at all. And I just used to think of ideas and try and get them down in some way. And then Joe would like help me out with colours and stuff like that. So it's a very, very 50-50 sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the thinker and Joe's the doer who brings your ideas into fruition.
Yeah, I'd say
it's
some. Yeah,
a bit of both, isn't it?
Yeah, but then it's also the other way around sometimes as well. Like I feel like you're a little bit more handy on Adobe.
Yeah. Well, I think, but you could smash that easy.
Yeah, no, I can do stuff. I think you just.
Like if you tell Joe to draw you right now, do it in 15 minutes and it'll look unreal. If you told me to do that, you tell me to get out. You tell me to leave. Mate. So,
right, I hear what you're saying.
But yes, it's
So then, when you started, how was the beginning? So your first piece and all that, how did that come into?
We had
because
Meredith.
so good having the idea, but then when do you actually, put it into plan?
See, this is what. So it was bonfire night in first year, so 2017, and we didn't bring anything out until a year later in November 18. But in between that, like
we had so many ideas.
Ideas, samples. We spent a lot of money, and we still do now, on just blank t-shirts. Trying to find the right
perfect
fit.
blank. Because like we say, you could, the easiest way to do it is just get Gildan, Fruit of the Loom, 50p a t-shirt. You know what I mean? But we just did not want to do. We tried that, didn't we?
Yeah, and they're just not the quality that we're after.
Just weren't what we were looking for, and it took us. It actually did take. That was probably.
That was one of the hardest.
If you talk about starting up a clothing brand from scratch and you don't have like the facilities or the funds to just go to a factory,
right?
And you have to source it yourself. That was probably the hardest thing to do. Finding a blank t-shirt. But when you get the one, I think you know.
You said how long did that take as well to find them?
So long. I just remember just buying about 30 white t-shirts, thinking, these are the ones, and then we were like, these are not the ones.
But the thing is, so let's say I want to start one today. Where would you go to? Because the other one I know is just a local like a t-shirt store which can just do your own
the screen printing and stuff like
that.
that.
That's not the quality you want.
That's probably a good place to start. I think we did a lot of it online just because.
I think we tried to do a lot of it ourselves as well. We tried. But we were saying the other day, like I think we would benefit from like a mentor teaching us, like, because we have, like, we talk about the first drop and that we have made a lot of like mistakes, but we've learned from them.
Okay.
Like even look at our first drop, and we thought at the time, this is so
unreal.
good.
We had no idea, but we had no idea what we were doing. Like zero idea what we were doing.
In terms of where you start, I think a lot of people aren't really too bothered about the blanks, and they're happy with Gildan, and that's sound. Like if that's. But what we wanted to do is produce like what we want to produce in 10 years now.
Yeah, like so to get that establishment sort of
thing.
Like
because we've got obviously people paying money for our stuff, and we feel like it'd be a disjustice to them to pay money for something
that's not
that we don't believe in.
We always say, like, in terms of what we bring out, me and Joe would wear it ourselves. Like, and if we wear it ourselves, like I've paid like 800 quid for a Kanye West Gildan, like a merch sort of thing, and I love it because it's got Kanye West's name on it. But I wouldn't particularly wear that myself because like, you can tell the quality is not that good. So I think in terms of like what we bring out, we'd always bring out what we want to wear.
Yeah. And I think that there is a sort of frustration when you spend like even £25 on a t-shirt, and then you wash it 4 or 5 times and it's like bubbling off.
It's gone,
and it happens a lot. Like established brands, it happens a lot, and that was one of the things that we didn't want. We wanted,
avoid,
we wanted
get it right the first time instead of making mistakes when you're
exactly,
But,
But in terms of where you start, I think online there's so many resources. Like
it's there for you right now, isn't it?
There's a lot of places where you can get good blank t-shirts. It's just a process of finding the one that fits your brand. Okay. Like ours that we have might not be the right
same as yours.
Yeah.
I always remember saying like splitting it up. We need good quality, good fit, like boxy fit, and that was like we had to like sort of sometimes we'd be like, this is really good quality, but the fit's not there. We'd be like, this is really good fit, but the quality's not there, and it's finding that balance between trying to get the right one.
There's a lot of things you have to consider even before you put the design on it.
And then
you've got to think about, because a lot of them as well, we find the sizes are
completely
weird.
yeah,
Like
completely
medium and
different.
large is the same, and
But you want to expect that, you know, going. You just think it would be different, but
think so.
you find things out like that. And then like on this drop we got coming out, we wanted because it's a summer drop, even though it's 9 weeks late, but it's a summer drop.
Summer
But
drop in
we
winter.
want like more colours, like
Right, okay.
so we've got loads of different colours sort of t-shirts coming out instead of just black and white.
Yeah, and our original blanks.
We're just black, white, and navy. So we had to like look elsewhere to find colour t-shirts.
So that was another process
yeah.
of finding, and we both spent a lot of money on samples.
How did the first drop come about then? Because I know you had like you had to get your photo sorts and all that kind of stuff. How was that process?
Yeah, so obviously the first thing, we had the blank sorted. We had a load of designs because we were always mocking stuff up, and
Yeah, man.
we
Talk
had
about Meredith.
yeah. Okay, so Meredith.
Right.
Oh, what a star Meredith was. So, how much was it? 199.
So
No,
what
it's
is or
cheaper than
who
that.
is Moody?
Right. It's a heat press.
Heat press machine.
For some reason, we named it Meredith. I don't even know how that came about.
I don't. A standard like heat press machine, like a proper one, they're like thousands of pounds. I bought this one for about 70 quid off eBay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Came like next day, it was like she was like rattling already.
Yeah.
And then like so that's how we started with like all the samples. We found the blank and we're like right. So then we bought this like transfer paper stuff. We put it on ourselves and heat pressing it.
Yeah.
And
We've got some videos of us doing the heat press, haven't we? It's fun.
It's fun. But
We enjoyed it, and it's better to see, even though it's terrible quality, and you can see it goes like a little bit yellow.
yeah.
Like the transfer paper
Yeah,
wasn't
just
good
weird.
either.
But I think
So
I think because I think that's we knew from then right that was when we were like right we need to find a printer.
Yeah,
we need to
yeah.
find a screen printer.
So that's
When
where
we found.
went.
That's when
and,
we searched.
and we were
around.
quite lucky at the start, even though we've lost them now. We don't even know where they
They've
are.
gone. They're
They
off
don't
the face
exist.
of the earth. But they did no. They've down. I remember they did good. They did good for us. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
no, they did. We got like good deals as well. And
Is this
they were
screen
good
printing,
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first two drops, the screen printing on those were done by the same people in Sheffield.
Right.
So homegrown. So we wanted to stay like home.
So we'd
based
go
as well.
in and like we'd have it like chat with them, and they were like nice. And I think that's a big part of it as well. I think we'll probably use them again if we
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. I
get back
remember
in touch with them. For this
yeah.
one, we couldn't.
COVID played a bit of a part
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Not being able to go anywhere,
But yeah, they were really good. They had like a whole setup, and a lot of videos you see like of people on YouTube and stuff is like, yeah, I got my own screen printer
Yeah.
thing. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but we've got no money.
Right.
So
So basically, to conclude, to start, find a decent blank,
yeah,
find a screen printer, have a brand philosophy sort of thing.
Right.
yeah.
All the way
You
forward.
came out, you had a first drop, and you had a photo shoot where?
We did the first one in Liverpool,
Baltic Triangle.
And how
which
was
is
It was good.
it was good. We did it on
We were fighting the sunset, mate. It was dark. It was dark when we did it.
because as with everything, we were a little bit late.
Always late.
that?
Um,
Right. We're running theme today.
We were on
we had
time
a
today.
location in mind because we'd seen pictures of it, and it was like a skate park.
It's
And it had
really,
loads
really
of cool
cool. Yeah,
graffiti
it's really,
on.
really cool.
And I've seen it before, and then we tried to get there, and we could not
I
find
think
it.
we walked around it like 7 times.
Yeah.
but-
We eventually got there, and we had two of our friends holding like torches on their phones, like on the models, and we had two of our
No,
friends doing the
mate, so
models
you
as
know
well.
like the production side, no setup like this, mate. We had the iPhone 6
yeah.
tortured
Wow.
out.
But that's good. I mean, you're keeping it real because it's very
Yeah.
easy to go, they've definitely got this and that, but
Well,
you're working on the budget and it's gone more for you.
Exactly. Yeah, we look at it. And it's like because we always say like obviously we are deadly serious about this. We always will be. And like I always say you can love us or hate us, but we're not going to go anywhere. Like we will keep doing this. But the basis of it is it's like a hobby for me and Joe sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like we just enjoy doing it. Like we do. I think we do need to firm up a bit on like being an actual business sort of thing. Like we will. Yeah, we will.
We've had a few discussions about that.
We will firm up on that, but like right now, especially, it's just like a hobby. So like going to like a skate park and like trying to,
Your iPhone, like,
it's like funny. Like, I've got videos of that, and it's like really funny and stuff like that. And it's just
But it's
like,
good to see the progression as well, because the second lot we had a proper camera, and we had one of Matt's friends from uni. He had a
sorted
good
us
camera, and he sorted us out. To be fair, shout out to Doug.
shout out Doug Swallow.
how did the job come out then? How successful was it when you first started?
The first one was a mistake. We won't go into like numbers and stuff, but
the first one
we were. I wouldn't say overconfident, but I think we overestimated the amount that people were willing to pay.
Yeah.
Not the amount of people that were willing to pay for our stuff. Should I say? So
and then and it didn't come out as exactly how we wanted it. It wasn't like perfect, and then we learned a lot in the second because the second one sold out. That's done for now. So
what do you think you'd learned from between the first and the second drop?
I think definitely numbers, and I think white was a mistake.
White was a mistake, yeah. White t-shirts, yeah.
I don't think
I love a white t-shirt.
Yeah, I love a white t-shirt, but I think a lot of people weren't.
You can bank on black, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't get dirty, you know what I mean? It's just
like, a lot of people were saying as well, like, oh, like I'd buy it, but I don't really wear white.
White t-shirt, a lot of people.
Yeah, and I'd be more than happy to bring out a white one in the future, but I think it wouldn't have to be part of like
white, black, yeah. It'd be another.
Because we made a lot. Like the first one, we made more than we made on any of the other ones following.
Oh wow!
Because we did a lot. Because we thought we had this like we saved up like money and stuff, and then we put it in. And we put it all in.
We called, we checked, we put it all in. We put it all in, mate.
And that was a mistake, definitely, I think.
But I think that we could, from that we could gauge like.
Yeah, we had an idea of numbers and stuff.
Because our aim, we do kind of want to be, like, I wouldn't say a hype beast, but I'd say like a brand that sells out and drops. Like that is our aim. So we did massively overcompensate on that first one, but. Like I said, I think we did learn, and like in terms of like the photo shoot, we learned from that first photo shoot.
Oh yeah, the first and second was mad.
Yeah.
The difference between the first and second one is like ridiculous.
But every time we do something like it's experience, and you learn, like even in terms of like Photoshop and stuff. When I remember Photoshopping that first part one, I just didn't have any idea what I was doing. And
yeah, there's a photo somewhere, the little cutout we tried to put on the website, and it was just.
It's atrocious, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, like, going forward, like, how do you work together, with each other?
We need to be together.
Yeah.
Really. We do a lot of stuff separately, but then
So
I feel like
who does what normally then?
I think you're the protagonist.
we do a lot of stuff separately. I think you do a lot of designs. And you get a lot more samples in than I do now.
Yeah. Well, cause I remember literally because of COVID, when I had nothing to do, I just spent all my nights I just have an idea. I won't even send him you or anything. I just do him.
That's another thing. Like every time we get together, he's always got something else.
Something new, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
What's this about?
Because I didn't do it for like any like validation. I just did it because I was bored, like a hobby sort of thing. And I just had an idea and I think, oh, it's cool just to get that down, and then like I show you, and then I think we like when we didn't because he was still at university, I'd graduated, and you were like, will you miss this and that, and I remember we talked for like the first time in like a few weeks, and we had exactly the same points about what we wanted to do, and you just like just stop hanging around with Deej, and then we'll get it sorted.
So for someone who's watching for the first time and sees your brand, like, what does 22.5 mean? What do you symbolise?
Honestly, it's going to sound so cringy. And I'm always trying to stop like that, but it's like it's like friendship, though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because it's two like.
Well, it says on the website, two wholesome blokes.
Two wholesome blokes with limited funds. So I think that's what the whole brand is like. It's me and Matt started it, like just me and Matt, and me and Matt do everything.
Yeah. And so I think that'll always be like that way.
Yeah, like we always joke about like, oh, when we make it big,
we have like a design team and stuff like that.
Right.
Like we'd always be like the same office because that's like we do everything like
together,
on the brand together. Even though we might like have separate ideas, we always bring it together. So I think that's the main thing, because if we don't like it, it doesn't. It
don't pass. Yeah, I think that is like our philosophy sort of thing. Like what we wear. We'll bring out. Right. And if you don't like that, that's your opinion. Yeah.
We might not go anywhere.
but I think it's just me and you, innit? Really. That's,
Because I'm guessing you guys obviously work a lot together. How often do you argue?
Oh.
Wow.
Someone.
Hook it in.
This is what we always do every
You're
time.
buddy right now, so where's the argument?
It always gets like sort of close to a drop, or we've got something to like.
Stress levels are high.
Yeah, we've got something to like get done, and Matt's very meticulous, and it's a really good thing, and I'm a little bit meticulous as well, but I feel like sometimes it can
counteract sort of each other, yeah.
And we always get to a point where I'm like pushing like to get it done, and Matt's like, no, we need this and that, and I'm like, yeah, I would love to have that, and I would love to spend more money, but also like we're getting to a point where we're not making any money.
Yeah, so we need it out.
But that's the way we both are to a degree. Like we would rather have the best products like that we can at the minute. And like
establish ourselves.
Yeah. And
I always say, mine and Joe's meetings, they're always like 3 days long. You just live like I used to go to his house, now he comes to mine. 3 days long, and by the end of it, we have a little tiff, and then we always hug it out.
Yeah.
So that's how it literally goes.
Yeah.
All the time.
You're always gonna get it though, like.
Well, yeah, you can't when. Because even though I think we do have like very, very, like I say, we have wavelengths all the time. We have very similar. You're always gonna have differences, aren't you? You're always gonna have differences.
That's the thing, yeah. Like we're working on a brand 50-50. You're gonna think some things are good when I don't.
When you don't.
Vice
versa. It's always finding that medium, and it's
yeah.
I think
Because you mentioned earlier as well, quite separately about how you said you pay like £800 for a car or whatever.
On what?
You said you pay £800 for a car Gildan.
Oh no, I paid about 800. About 100 quid for that. But yeah.
But I'm talking in terms of like inspirations. Who else would you say is he one, and who else are your inspirations?
I think we both
in
were
terms
a fan of Kanye's music, and then that's how we sort of got into fashion.
Into like that sort of hip hop culture sort of thing.
Yeah, because I think
do you mean in terms of the brand or in like ourselves?
In yourselves, like what inspires your own
clothing
and also your brand.
I think Kanye's where the clothing came in, definitely, because we were both like a fan of his music.
Yeah.
And then he started doing the shoes, and we were like, oh. And then
we had our little 'hypebeast phase, definitely.
Yeah. So when you start getting into the shoes,
not anymore.
Start, like,
not anymore.
Don't bundle me into that. These were £35 for me.
Good finds, mate. Good finds. My dad's got a pair of them.
Your dad's stylish. Yeah.
But I would say our inspiration in terms of it definitely links to music, 100%. Like that is.
And why is that?
I think Kanye is definitely.
I think it is. Yeah, he's just set the boundaries, and he did music, completed that, went into fashion, sort of completed that completely. Mate, he's mad, absolutely mad, and it's just like.
As much as you might not like him as a person now, like you've got to respect.
What he's done. He's genius, isn't he? But
in terms of fashion as well, I think we don't necessarily take. I think we do take inspiration, but maybe a lot more subconsciously than consciously. But like. Yeah. It's more like not even necessarily like big people. Like Instagram's massive, and you see like an Instagram feed full of people, and like we both follow like fashion in general. But like we don't
see
look
it all
at,
the time, don't we?
Gucci and think like that's sick. I look at Gucci and think, what's that, bro?
Right.
Sometimes but. That's what I mean. It's like it's taste. So you take inspiration from people. But I don't think we ever look at something and be like, I want to be.
Copy that,
I want to do that way.
I would say if it looks good, if you think it looks good, wear it no matter what anyone else thinks. Stay true to what you think. And if you think you look sexy, then you look sexy.